Alright, so you're looking at this picture-perfect Amish countryside. Families out there working the land with their hands, kids running around barefoot in fields so green it almost hurts your eyes. My name is David Akinsunmi, and today we're pulling back the curtain on some of these time-honored traditions. We're diving deep into 20 free organic gardening hacks, straight from the heart of Amish country. Let's kick things off with something most folks sweep up and toss out: wood ash. The Amish see value where others see waste. That gray, fluffy stuff is a resource, a gift from the fire for their soil. Packed with potassium, it's great for flowering and fruiting. Sprinkle it around your plants or work it into the soil before planting. Next up, we're brewing something special, but it's not for your morning cuppa. We're talking about compost tea. Compost tea is essentially a liquid fertilizer, a concentrated elixir of all the good stuff that's in your compost pile. Making it is simpler than you might think. You take a shovel full of good finished compost and put it in a permeable bag like an old pillowcase or a burlap sack. Then, you steep that bag in a bucket of water for about 24 to 48 hours. Alright, let's talk about something you probably toss in the compost or, heaven forbid, the trash every single morning: eggshells. They see those fragile shells not as waste but as a valuable source of calcium, a mineral that's absolutely crucial for strong, healthy plants. Just collect your eggshells, give them a quick rinse if you want, and let them dry out completely. Once they're dry and brittle, you can crush them up and sprinkle the crumble around the base of your plants. We're about to talk about something that's pure gold in the Amish gardening world: horse manure. Well-rotted horse manure is one of the most powerful, balanced, and natural fertilizers. The key is well-rotted or aged. Fresh manure can burn plant roots. The Amish know this. They compost it for months, turning it occasionally. Properly composted, aged horse manure is a game-changer for soil fertility. Let's talk about what happens in the garden during the off-season. Instead of leaving their soil bare and exposed to the elements, they practice something called cover cropping. And one of their favorite cover crops, for very good reasons, is clover. Clover is a legume, which means it has this incredible ability to fix nitrogen. When you eventually till that clover back into the soil, all that captured nitrogen is released, giving your next crop a fantastic head start. Every gardener knows the frustration of seeing their hard work nibbled away by uninvited guests. The Amish have a spicier solution up their sleeves: a homemade garlic and chili spray. Garlic with its sulfur compounds and chili peppers with their capsaicin are a potent combination that most garden critters find highly offensive. You take a few cloves of garlic and a handful of hot chili peppers, blend them up with a bit of water to make a pungent slurry. Then, add that slurry to a larger container of water and let it steep overnight. Here's a gardening trick that's as beautiful as it is effective: planting marigolds. These hardworking annuals are actually pulling double duty, acting as a sort of natural pest control, a golden shield protecting the more vulnerable vegetable crops. By planting marigolds around the borders of your garden or interspersing them among your vegetables, you're essentially creating a no-go zone for these damaging pests. Beyond their underground benefits against nematodes, the strong, distinct scent of marigolds can also confuse and repel many above-ground pests. Let's talk about one of the gardener's slimiest nemeses: slugs and snails. One surprisingly effective method involves something you might find at a seafood restaurant or a feed store: crushed oyster shells. The principle here is beautifully simple and entirely physical. When you create a barrier of crushed oyster shells around your vulnerable plants, you're essentially laying down a path of medieval caltrops for these soft-bodied invaders. The sharp edges of the shells are uncomfortable and irritating for them to cross, acting as a deterrent. We've touched on companion planting with marigolds, but the Amish take this concept much further, often interplanting a variety of strong-smelling herbs right alongside their vegetable crops. Plants like basil, dill, rosemary, thyme, mint, and sage aren't just there for the kitchen. They're active participants in the garden's ecosystem, playing a crucial role in pest management. Many insect pests locate their preferred host plants by smell. When you intersperse pungent herbs among your vegetables, their strong aromas can mask the scent of the more vulnerable crops. Some herbs are even thought to actively repel certain pests. Despite your best efforts, tiny flying insects like whiteflies, aphids, thrips, or fungus gnats can still invade your plants. Commercial sticky traps are available, but there's a clever DIY method. Use cardboard, something brightly colored, and a sticky substance. Many pests are attracted to yellow. They get stuck and can't escape. It's a simple way to monitor and reduce pests without sprays. The Amish practice crop rotation, a fundamental principle of sustainable gardening. Think of it as a strategic game of musical chairs for your plants. Rotate crops to manage soil nutrients and maintain balance. Many of our favorite garden vegetables like beans, peas, cucumbers, and even some varieties of tomatoes and squash are natural climbers. They need some kind of support to grow upwards, which not only saves valuable garden space but also improves air circulation, reduces disease problems, and makes harvesting a whole lot easier. The Amish often turn to what nature provides: twigs, branches, and some good, strong natural fiber twine. It's functional, beautiful in a rustic way, and completely biodegradable. To connect these branches and guide your plants, natural fiber twines like jute, hemp, or sisal are perfect. Many traditional farming cultures, including the Amish, follow moon phase planting. The moon's gravitational pull affects soil moisture levels. During the waxing moon, soil moisture is drawn upwards. This is ideal for planting leafy greens and fruiting plants. During the waning moon, plant root crops. Soaking seeds overnight can boost your gardening success. It's great for larger seeds like beans, peas, corn, squash, and pumpkin. Soak them in warm water for 8 to 12 hours to soften the shell. This helps the seed absorb moisture and triggers germination. The next day, plant your plumped-up seeds as usual. Here's a sweet little secret from the Amish gardening toolkit: molasses. Blackstrap molasses in particular can be a fantastic tonic for your soil and your plants. It's not so much a direct fertilizer, but more of a biostimulant, a source of food and energy for the beneficial microbes that live in your soil. To use this molasses soil tonic, you just need to mix about a tablespoon of blackstrap molasses into a gallon of water. Stir it well to dissolve, and then use this sweet solution to water your plants perhaps once a month during the growing season. When you're planting a garden, especially if you're sowing lots of different types of seeds, it's pretty easy to forget what you planted where. The Amish often use simple, biodegradable markers made from materials they have on hand. One classic example: dried corn cobs. These dried cobs, stuck into the soil at the end of a row, make perfect rustic markers. They're visible, sturdy enough to last the season, and at the end of the year, they can just be tilled back into the soil or added to the compost. Spring can be a fickle season. The Amish use old plastic milk jugs to create mini greenhouses for young plants. Cut off the bottom of an empty milk jug, place it over a seedling and push it into the soil. The jug warms the air and soil, protecting the plant from frost and pests. Weeds are the bane of every gardener's existence. Use burlap sacks or natural fabric scraps as weed mats. Burlap, made from jute or sisal fibers, is a coarse, woven fabric. Lay burlap on soil, cutting slits for crops to grow through. The dense fabric blocks sunlight, preventing weed seeds from germinating. Water is life, especially in the garden. The Amish have long understood the value of rainwater. One of the simplest and most effective ways to capture this precious resource is by using rain barrels. Setting up a rain barrel system doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. The basic idea is to collect the rainwater that runs off your roof. For our final hack, we're bringing in some feathered friends: chickens. Letting chickens roam in your garden plot during these times is like unleashing a tiny feathered cleanup crew that works for food. They'll scratch through the soil, gobbling up grubs, slugs, snails, grasshoppers, and many other insects. As they scratch and peck, they're also doing a light form of tilling, breaking up clumps of soil, aerating it, and mixing in any organic matter on the surface. And there's another significant bonus. As chickens forage, they naturally deposit their manure, which is a rich source of nitrogen and other nutrients. So there you have it. 20 tried and true gardening hacks, straight from the wisdom of the Amish. They've shown us that you don't need fancy gadgets or expensive inputs to achieve amazing results. The beauty of these methods lies in their simplicity and their sustainability. Thanks for joining me, David Akinsunmi, today. Subscribe for more practical tips on faith, finance, and simple living.